Hello everyone, welcome to NintenDormant, the podcast where we discuss Nintendo games that have been left on the shelf. If you're watching on YouTube and you enjoy the show, please do like and subscribe. If you're listening as a podcast, please rate, comment and follow. And if you know any Nintendo heads out there who haven't heard about us yet, let them know and we'd really appreciate it. I'm your host, George Banks, and I'm joined, as ever, by my faithful resident guests, John Cartwright and Josh Goldie. John, Josh, hello.
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 Josh, that was a very sluggish hello. You were quite slow off the mark there. Are you feeling all right?
I'm just overwhelmed with the 3 screens, the light, the microphone, because I'm not fully unpacked yet from my move.
Yes.
I couldn't find my actual webcam, so I'm having to get the webcam from my laptop, plug my professional mic in because I do have that, but then I've got the buzzer up on a different monitor.
God.
So that because I don't have as much space anymore to work with.
We did have John in like a sci-fi prison for a few episodes.
Yeah, I've been imprisoned a few times.
Josh looks like he's in a sort of horrible holding cell somewhere. It's just
for those listening and not watching, I'm pretty sure there's a Famicom controller on a box behind him.
There is actually for people who are, watching. I'm not recording my background, so it just looks like I'm in a blue void.
Okay.
So there is, in fact, a Famicom on a box behind. But thank you for calling my new room a holder cell, George. Appreciate that.
I didn't mean that. I just mean
I'm going to be very positive.
Oh God, I've gone really red. No, all I mean is that the light is quite yellow, and obviously there's nothing set up yet.
It's making it worse.
So it's just there's just a white. It's
very yellow in there, isn't it?
No, I just mean
looks very. You've got.
I mean, no, I didn't say that. I just mean you don't have the homey touches yet, Josh. It's very stark because you obviously in your last room you had your lovely Metroid poster. You had lots of gaming things. When are you planning to set everything up in the background?
It should be tomorrow.
Right.
Tomorrow morning, I have a bed arriving. I have 3 massive bookcases that will take up that entire back wall that the people can't see.
Yep.
And on those bookcases should be all my games. So hopefully in the next episode of the podcast, I can take myself out of the blue void of death that I'm currently in. And you will see my massive collection of games that's hopefully... I can get them all up.
Lovely.
There.
I think I've successfully dug myself out of that hole, so I'm feeling quite good. Let's talk about another project you're taking on, Josh, though, because you're currently... So it will have finished by the time the episode comes out, but you're running the Smash poll for the most requested Metroid character. Can you reveal who... I mean, you'll have the results, obviously, by the time this comes out. Can you reveal who's in the lead to me and John? Can you say who's leading so far?
No, because the results won't be made public until... till the start of next month. So the polls always end halfway through the month, but then I take 2 weeks to put the video and stuff together. So the results come out on the 1st. However, I can tease that it's the top 2 are the top 2 you expect it to be.
Obviously,
but I won't say
Anthony Higgins and Adam Malkovich.
And
we all know.
That's it.
And little fuzzy Ridley. Is there a name for baby Ridley?
Teenage Ridley. The chick? Is it like the chick or something like that?
No.
Little chick? Like
Sam is just going
like
on saying,
fluffy...
the chick, the baby.
The baby, the chick. Yeah, that's how Sam names things.
Yeah, she just looks at... She says, the gun, when she looks at her arm. No, I mean, I haven't put my vote in yet, actually. I've got to put my vote in. And it's obviously Ravenbeak's topping it for me. If it's anyone other than Ravenbeak... I will be astonished.
You should vote for Miles instead.
Miles?
For the band.
Oh, Miles.
Miles McKenzie.
Yeah.
Everyone's favourite. Get him up there. He's got votes.
I'm not going to do that, Josh.
He has votes?
Anthony...
He has votes. He has a few votes.
Remember Me is the only other character that gets my vote. If it's Ravenbeak and Anthony, and that's it. Nobody else gets anything.
Not Kraid?
Maybe Kraid. What about you, John? Who's your top 3, John?
Okay, strap in.
Okay.
Anthony is definitely in the top 3. Okay, there's no debating this.
Okay.
I think I would go with Kraid. He's a big boy. He's been there since the beginning. And who else just fires limbs out of their body and grows more of them? It's such a unique move.
That is true.
Anthony doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Emmy would be a good character, but I feel like Emmy would be a better assist trophy.
Yeah.
Assist trophy or boss?
I think assist trophy.
You fight a lot of them.
It would be quite. quite a scary assist trophy because it would pin your character's head to the ground and then stab them, which wouldn't be the most family-friendly thing in a Smash Brothers game.
Yeah. On second thoughts, I think Kraid would probably be better as an assist trophy too. I mean, he's already a stage hazard, and he works very well there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ravenbeak's very high up for sure.
Ravenbeak's an absolute boss. Psylux, I don't know.
Well, you'll have to find out on the 1st of February when the results go
All
out.
right.
Little tease.
Tune in to Josh's channel, 1st of February.
The top 15 then.
Oh my god, there's 15? Okay, all right.
I always do a top 10 and then 5 honorable.
Okay, I've got to go check out. I've got to go vote. It's too late for you to go and vote now, so I don't know why I'm saying that. But go and vote, even though you can't do it now. Has anybody Animal Crossing?
Vote in the comments of this video, and maybe I'll add it. So
there we go. Comment underneath, and then we
comment here instead of the poll. Maybe I will add extra votes for your character.
That's a hard maybe.
So all you Miles fans, all you the baby fans,
the chick fans,
the chick, get the chick in there.
Fans. The chick needs a
especially
vote.
just so we can hear the announcer say the chick
yours.
would be incredible. Anybody enjoying Animal Crossing? Obviously, Animal Crossing. We touched it. We did an Animal Crossing episode last week, and we said we might visit it when the new stuff drops. Has anybody jumped in?
I did not, in fact, visit it.
I've dabbled. I bought the Switch 2 edition, booted it up, and I came to the conclusion that this is Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Good, good.
That's just it. It was like I see the new free update stuff. I see the enhanced speed and stuff. I'll probably get it just to have a complete version of New Horizons for the future. But I mean, I've got no motivation to play Animal Crossing before now. I've not got any motivation to play it right now either.
It's pretty, but it's the same. They haven't changed anything visually. It's just 4K now, which is cool. Yeah. Yeah. But it loses its luster quite quickly. That kind of visual upgrade. But there's a whole lot of free stuff though, and all that stuff's neat. I was expecting like the bulk of the Nintendo NSO library to be in this for some reason,
right?
And it's like 8 games or something.
Oh no!
I don't even think it's 8 games. I think it's like 6.
Yeah.
I think in fact I think I can name them. I think it's Ice Climbers, Ice Hockey, Dr. Mario, Puzzle League, F-Zero, and then there's one more NES game. I want to say it's something like Mac Rider. It's something really random. Yeah. It's not Mario or Zelda or anything like
Incredible that we've covered most of those.
But the N64 version had more games than this.
Yeah, it did.
Cool. Well done, guys. I'm quite excited.
I do find it like as if it was just like one. Like, you know, it's the Super Nintendo and it comes with panels upon and that's the only game you get, but it's the only Super Nintendo you get. Then I'd understand.
Yeah.
Because the Game Boy, the Game Boy only has Dr. Mario.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. So, but then there's the Famicom Disk System that you can get is the. Well, actually, maybe that is it then. Maybe now that I'm saying it out loud, maybe the Super Nintendo is F-Zero, the Super Famicom.
Oh yeah,
that makes sense.
Game Boy Dr. Mario, Disk System Ice Hockey, NES is Ice Climbers, and Famicom is Mac Rider or the other way around.
I'm slightly more on board with that. I'm quite excited to go back because I realised that I made a hotel. I made a fake villager and I made a hotel. And now I can demolish that and make something new because I have a real hotel, which I'm quite excited about. Also quite strange that we've covered most of the games that we just mentioned in that, except Ice Hockey. Are you excited to dive back into NES Ice Hockey?
No. Well, here's a question you have to ask yourself. Do we do an episode on every single one of the individual NES sports?
Yes, absolutely. I think I'm angling for Derek from GVG for ice hockey because I believe he's an ice hockey fan, John. So I have spoken to him about it.
I think that's true.
Ice hockey, the top of your NES sports.
No,
list,
I don't want it to ever come back, but we're going to cover it. We're going to talk about it for goodness' sake because it's a dormant Nintendo series, and that's what we do here. We revive dormant Nintendo games, but we are going to play another little game right now. Yes, it's time for the NintenDormant Quickfire quiz. 2 rounds, fastest finger first, followed by player cards for double points. And as always, John and Josh will pick their buzzers. Josh, I'm going to go with you first this week. What buzzer would you like to go with?
Before I do that, everyone at home can now see my prison cell. I've decided to.
Do you know what? It looks so homely, and I apologise. The Famicom there in the background.
You're overcompensating.
I know. I'm just going to shut up. I'm turning red again, just trying to do it the other way. The Famicom on the Zelda thing. So
my sound is. I want. Can you hear that?
No. Not in any way, shape, or form. What is it?
It's the Switch thing. It's the Switch thing from the Nintendo Museum.
What Switch thing?
You press the button, and it makes the sound of the Switch going. Yeah.
Oh man.
Like they do these in blind boxes, and you get one, and each one is for a different system.
Pretty
So
awesome.
GameCube's goes dun.
Yeah.
Every time you press the button.
It's very cool that you've got one.
So,
unfortunately, I cannot use your sound clip when you used to send it to me. But
Damn.
I will find the Switch going as your thing. That is no problem.
That'll have to.
John,
do.
are you going to go for the GameCube boot up now that it's been mentioned? It is a classic.
No way. No way.
Right, okay.
Can I have some metal poles landing on a metal surface and the echo sound that comes from it?
That's such a horrible noise. Why are you inflicting? I mean, yes, that's fine, but why are you doing it? I was so. By the way, when I was doing the edit for last week's show, I was so disappointed that I could only use Josh's confused duck sound effects once. John only buzzed in quick enough once for it to use it.
Oh,
and
no.
It is impeccable. Josh just going, wah, as a confused duck. Is I should have used Psyduck. Why didn't I use Psyduck? He's literally a confused duck. But that's in the past. This week we have metal echoing poles on a metal floor and the Switch click sound effect. And the buzzer names are Josh Bow and Kirby and the Power John Brush.
It's not a good one this week.
Not
a good one this week.
It's a bit of a mouthful. Might not call you it, John, if I'm being honest. I might just go with Josh. I mean, Josh Bow I can go with, but I'll call you Power John. There you go. How's that?
It sounds a little bit like I could be swaying in a direction that I don't put myself in.
Okay.
But I'll embrace it for today.
Let's touch on that later. All right. Fingers on buzzers, please. Fingers on buzzers. Question 1, here we go. So, we are talking today about a few games in the Kirby Curse series, but what was Canvas Curse known as in Europe? Well, John has buzzed in. John, do you know?
I think they called it Kirby and the Power John Brush, didn't they?
Yes, 1 point to John. Well done. Do you know the actual name, John, to verify
Kirby and the
point?
Power Paintbrush.
Thank you.
Okay.
I would have been. I think Josh would have rightly been annoyed had I not got you to actually say the name.
Is the sequel's name in this quiz too, or can I say it now?
No, you can say it now.
It's a Kirby and the Rainbow Paintbrush rather than Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
Yes, they don't like Curse over here, which is strange because you'd think they'd be more open to it in Europe than across the pond.
Yeah, we're always cursing people, and yet they
hexes and curses.
And yet we can't have it as the thing. Damn.
Very odd. What and paintbrush? Like paintbrush is in there, but I don't know. It's a very arbitrary, one of those arbitrary localization things that I don't think has ever been explained, and I'm not really sure why they did it.
Yeah, they did it quite a lot in that era.
That's true.
For no reason most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just to annoy us, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to wind
Mission
everyone up.
accomplished.
Just for the bands.
Hey guys,
This will be
That's why
bare
they
hell
put
there
bros on
for
the
the
end of
water.
Mario and Luigi, Dream Team Bros, and Mario and Luigi,
hey guys, just
whatever the other one, Paper
what should
Jam
we
Bros.
localize this as? For Bants exclusively. Oh yeah, Bants. That's good. Let's have a thing. All right, 1 point to John. Question 2, fingers and buzzers. Here we go. Kirby Canvas Curse features a new antagonist for the series, a witch called what?
Ooh, I'm glad
Josh
you know,
Bowes.
because I can't remember.
Is it Drawseer?
Ah, Josh,
That is-
very good. It is indeed Drawseer. Yes, I don't.
Can I say the name of her sister from the other game?
Can you say it? Yes, you can.
I think it's Glacier, isn't it? Like
Correct.
that's how they go.
And
yeah.
actually, she's part of a trilogy of sisters. Can you name their third sister?
Uh,
Drawseer, Glacier. She's not a final boss. She's a boss in Triple Deluxe.
Brushseer.
Oh.
Do you remember? I mean, it's not far.
Penseer.
Yes,
Brushseer.
it's Paintseer. It's literally Paintseer.
Oh, it's Paintseer.
There's the little painting of a witch that comes to life.
I think I do know which one you're talking about. I think
Yeah.
it's like a sub boss
Yes.
or
Yeah.
something in one of the games. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the bosses. I think sort of possibly in the same sort of era as A Link Between Worlds. and being quite like visually quite similar in terms of that kind of boss event happening. But yes, Drossia, pretty decent antagonist for the Kirby series. Turns into a sort of horrible, nightmarish thing at the end, as they tend to do. Do you remember it now, John? Now that we've mentioned it,
I do. You know what? I definitely do.
All right, fair enough. Didn't prove it in the quiz, but that's fine. I'll believe it. I'll choose to believe it. That's no problem. Okay, 1 point each. Fingers on buzzers, please. Question 3. Here we go. Have I written a question? I have not written a question for question 3. Cool.
Great
We
stuff.
only decided that we were going to do the Curse series today, and I might have to use the tiebreaker. That's fine. I'm going to use the tiebreaker. That's fine. Rainbow Curse features local multiplayer, but what character does player 2 control? Ooh, it's Kirby and the Power Drum Brush.
It's Bandana Waddle Dee.
It's Bandana Waddle Dee. Well done, John.
They play as just a regular Kirby person.
Yeah,
just plays regular Kirby.
You can literally just do the game like a Kirby game, as opposed to the whole gimmick of the game.
So we tried this at uni, actually.
Oh, right.
We tried to see how far can we get playing as just Waddle Dee and never using the Wii U gamepad at all.
Success?
We had to throw Kirby to each other.
Oh, that's incredible.
How
far did you get? Did you do the game?
No, you can't do the whole game. There's a part you get to where there's a huge tree.
Right, okay.
With like nothing else to hold on to. And we almost did it. We're like trying to manipulate the despawning, because if you go too far off screen, then the game will throw you higher up. Right. So we were trying to time everything so perfectly that when the third player was off screen, they would be warped to the top screen.
Oh man!
So you could throw the ball up to them and then fall and be.
Oh, I bet you could have done it. You've got to try.
Yeah, potentially.
You can play the game in HD that way, because on the Wii U gamepad it's in 480p the entire time. Yeah. So that's like the only way to look at the TV and play the game.
So depressing. I've actually got that as one of our talking points for later on. So depressing. But Josh, they need to add that to a games done quick category, and I think you should spearhead this. Completing that game as the Waddle Dees.
Oh no!
With
what have I done to myself?
You can do it. You can do it. Just train for years on end and do nothing else. It'd be fine.
Just do nothing else in my life.
Nothing
Wonderful.
else. But you'll be awesome at that one game, and you'll be proud of yourself. 2 points to 1. Question 4. Fingers on buzzers, please. Here we go. Scattered throughout Rainbow Curse are treasure chests that contain power-ups and 3 different types of collectibles. Figurines, music tracks, and what? I do have multiple choice if it's not ringing any bells yet. All right. So, we've got figurines, we've got music tracks, and do we have A, Dreamland paintings, B, art supplies, or C, diary pages?
Oh.
Nobody's buzzing.
Nothing's coming to mind.
Oh, take a punt. Take a punt. Come on.
All right.
All right, John's taking a punt. Kirby and the Power Drum Brush.
Okay. I'm going to go with option B.
Art supplies?
Yeah.
You are wrong, sir.
Okay.
Josh, do you know it's either A, Dreamland paintings, or C, diary pages?
I guess I'll go diary pages.
Yeah, it's diary pages. I mean, it's so specific at that point. How do you say the character? Is it
Clacius?
No, the character, the little sprite that comes and helps you paintbrush. Eileen?
Eileen, yeah.
I don't know how you say her name. I think it's Eileen or Aline. It might be a line. That might make more sense.
A line sounds like more of a pun, doesn't it?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So a line. So you get her diary, but I can't remember if there's anything written in it. But it's just got like hilarious, really childish drawings of the characters. Have you seen the picture of Meta Knight in her diary?
I feel like I have.
I definitely have
now.
seen it.
Please quickly Google it and have a look. If you're listening to the show as a podcast, immediately Google Elaine's diary Meta Knight.
Yeah.
Does it come up?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I have seen this.
Incredible.
There's a DDD on the same page.
Just just wearing like a pair of sexy
Yes.
shades and with a big old sword.
It's a Sailor Moon thing, handsome mask or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
The guy from the meme who's like, he's like, you didn't do anything, and then he just leaves.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I didn't clock that at all. I mean, yes, that makes more sense than just not realising that the mask covers Meta Knight's entire face. But no, that makes much more sense. That's very good. Tied up, 2 points for 2. So, fingers on buzzers, please. Question 5 to settle fastest finger first. Are you guys ready?
We'll see.
We'll see.
Have I been asking the wrong questions? That's the wrong question.
That would be a twist.
I literally did. Oh my god. Okay, that's fine. Oh, and I've literally given away the question. So do you want to know what it is for question 5? Fastest finger first, guys. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay.
Fastest finger first. What is the name of the living paintbrush who accompanies... It's Josh! Joshbo!
It's a line!
It's a line!
Oh, dear.
We didn't know until today. I haven't had time to practice the quiz. I had Paintsia, Align, or Sketchy. So I think you would have got it anyway if I had given you the 3 options. I'm sorry, John, but Josh was quicker on the draw.
Sketchy is a good name, though.
Sketchy's not bad. I'm quite pleased with Sketchy. I might
Sketchy's
nick it for my
pretty
pitch.
good.
Okay, all right. 3 points to 2 for you then, Josh. So let's move into play or pass for double points. Are you ready?
I believe so.
All right, here we go. So, question 1 for you for play or pass. Now, I've decided on the rules. We had a bit of a back and forth about the rules last week. So, definitively now, if you keep your question, you get it wrong, the other player gets 2 points. If you pass it to them and they get it wrong, you get 1 point. And obviously, if you get it right, you get 2 points. So, you can't tank the quiz, basically, is what I'm saying. So, there's a bit more pressure now, I hope. Josh, question 1. In Kirby Canvas Curse, travelling in water does what to Kirby's movement? Does it A, make him constantly sink to the bottom? B, make him constantly float to the top? Or C, make him slowly expand until you can drain him down again?
I think it's B. You always float to the top.
Ah, yes, very good. He's nailed it. Yes, you do. It's so irritating. It's a great mechanic, but it's really, really annoying. So you have to corral him by drawing kind of like curved lines that sort of push him down. It's annoying. Do you guys remember that or not really?
I do.
It sort of vaguely comes back to me, it makes sense for there to be a mechanic like that, right? Where you have to draw to push the character down.
Yeah.
Rather than ride the lines. Yeah.
It's the most interesting one they think they could go with. John, question 2. So, Canvas Curse features a few mini-game boss battles. You have Block Attack, Cart Run, and Paint Panic. Cart Run. John Cart Run. Block Attack, Cart Run, and Paint Panic. And these are kind of in lieu of boss fights, but you do essentially beat some bosses in these modes. But which of these characters is not a boss that you take on during these? So there's Block Attack, Cart Run, and Paint Panic. Do you not see Wispy Woods, Kracko, or Dedede? You can play or pass.
I know Dedede's in there.
Okay.
I can't recall the other two. I think Kracko's in there. It feels weird that Wispy Woods wouldn't be, though. You know what? I try and find the most logical answer too much, and I'm usually wrong.
Okay.
So we're going to go with Wispy Woods for this one.
John, it's Wispy Woods. Correct.
It's Wispy Woods?
It is Wispy Woods.
Gotta be Wispy Woods.
Wispy Woods.
When is Wispy Woods not around?
Exactly. It's mad that Wispy Woods is in there. That's why I put him. Why I put him in there. Block Attack. The boss is Kracko, so it's kind of like. Oh God, what's the name? What's the name of the game that's like everywhere? Where the little thing at the bottom and
Breakout.
Yeah, Breakout. So Breakout, essentially, you're just breaking blocks with Kirby, and then you face Kracko at the end of it, sort of. Cart Run is drawing lines to steer the cart. You've got to get the food to sort of boost ahead of Dedede. And then Paint Panic is a weird one where you have to copy the drawings really fast. It's like a dot to dot, but you've got to do the dot to dot really fast. Do you remember who you defeat at the end of that? It's an enemy, I think, from the original Kirby game.
No, I don't remember.
What do you have to do? Sorry, say it again.
So it's like a dot to dot, and a character comes in and draws the shape in the dot to dot, and you have to very quickly draw it. And you're basically like defusing a bomb. It's weird.
Okay. I'm going to take a guess.
Bomb?
Yeah.
Is it definitely the original game and not the NES one?
Yes.
If it's the NES one, I'd say it's Paint Roller, probably.
See, Josh, this is why we have Josh here, because he's the encyclopedia. Yes, Paint Roller from the NES game, not from
that should have been a question.
It should have been, but I was not equipped. I had like 2 hours to put this quiz. That sounds like a lot of time, but there's not a lot of time to get lots of trivia together. Yes, Paint Roller, who I just thought was hilarious. It sounds like a character made for the game. No, Paint Roller's just a character that I've sort of forgotten about. All right, Josh, you can wrap up the quiz with this question. Are you ready?
Oh, dang.
I was born ready.
At the game's conclusion, it is revealed that Glacier from Rainbow Curse is being controlled by whom? Is it A, Art Master, B, Dark Crafter, or C, Cloud Painter?
I believe it's Dark Crafter.
Ah, he's nailed it. Dark Crafter. I was going to say Cloud Strifer, but I thought that's just too stupid to put in as the last option.
I was going to pass on that, but Dark Crafter is such a Kirby villain name that I immediately knew that was the answer.
Oh, man. I was trying to think of something, because I said Cloud Painter, because he is basically just like a multicoloured cloud. It's a bit of a rubbish boss, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
What would have been... Okay, give me some alternative good names that would have been better than
Who hosted Art Attack? Like the guy who loved PVA.
Neil Buchanan.
Yeah, that should have been...
That should have been one of the answers.
Just Buchanan. Just Buchanan would have been
Buchanan.
Okay, so if we had Buchanan, Dark Crafter, and what's another good Kirby... When we had, I think it was Brandon on for the Kirby's Dreamland episode, he created a villain called Popscorn, which is a kernel of popcorn, which I thought was excellent. That is one of the best Kirby boss names, like made up Kirby boss names I've heard. Another good one for Dark Crafter, Josh?
How about Monochrony?
Monochrony.
That's very good. I'm going to put down my pad.
Doesn't match at all what he looks like, but
who cares? Who cares? It's just an excellent joke. I'm actually stealing it for my pitch as well. I'm going to write that down right now. 2 seconds, and you'll understand why. Monochrony. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it. Right, John. It is 7 points to 4, so you cannot win the quiz, but you can draw almost level with this question. But I have to go back to a different question. So are you ready for my mixed up last question?
Are you ready?
No, I'm so unprepared for this quiz. Okay, question 4, play with us. Rainbow Curse features a few transformations for Kirby: a tank, a submarine, and what? Is it A, a UFO, B, an aeroplane, or C, a rocket?
UFO would be Epic Yarn. But then you also listed transformations that were also in Epic Yarn. I feel like it's a plane, but I don't remember.
Josh, do you remember?
It's a rocket.
It is a rocket.
Dang.
Josh gets the point. So Josh gets 2 points, in fact, because of our new penalisation system. So just to add insults to injury for John there, Josh scoops up another 2 points, which means at the end of the quiz, John, you have 4 points, and Josh, you have a mighty 9 points. Congratulations to you. Horrific. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe we should tweak the rules of the quiz.
I am the Rainbow Master.
The Rainbow, you
power
are
paintbrusher.
the undefeated NintenDormant quiz champion of 2026. Like undefeated in 26.
True.
We're going to see how long we keep that streak going.
And if there's no more episodes left, then I will just be the undefeated.
Thanks. Is that because I said it looks like a holding cell, so you're just not coming back into the show?
He's out now, yeah.
That's it. Podcast done. Please come back, Josh. I enjoy our evenings together. You won the quiz, which means you will be going first as we move into the main event. So yes, the series we were talking about this week is the Kirby Curse series. A quick history lesson for those who don't know. The Kirby Curse series is a duology of games that began life with Kirby Canvas Curse, or Power Paintbrush in Europe, in 2005, with a sequel 10 years later on the Wii U, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, or Rainbow Paintbrush. Eschewing the usual platforming of Kirby games, these titles instead see the pink puffball stuck in ball mode, and has the player draw lines for Kirby to roll along, as well as giving you the opportunity to tap the screen to give him a little speed boost. The first game included 11 copy abilities that either centered around speed or weaponry and a decent amount of challenge, while the follow-up got rid of the copy abilities and instead offered some transformations that mix up the gameplay, as well as local co-op, and focus more on exploration. Introducing 2 of 3 sister antagonists to the Kirby universe, Draucia and Glacier, the games are very stylish, with the Wii U entry particularly gorgeous looking and have fantastic soundtracks. The difficulty isn't quite as high as some of Kirby's later adventures, but there is a solid platforming here and a mechanic that makes the games very interesting to return to, even today. So yes, I call it the Kirby Curse series. I don't know if it's known as the Kirby Curse series. Is that a thing?
I feel like it's probably more like the Kirby Paintbrush series.
Yeah, but that's because we call it Paintbrush. Whereas I feel like it's probably more widely known as Canvas Curse. Or am I wrong about that? I don't know.
I don't really know. I mean, probably just because America. But then again, America call another code trace memory, and nobody calls it that. So we don't have to take anything into account on that in the American side of things.
Shall I read you all of that with paintbrush instead?
Generally, the internet does just Americanize things, though.
Yeah.
Recently, what's upset me recently is the Project Zero 2 remake is called Fatal Frame 2 globally. What the heck's that about? It's called Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake rather than Project Zero 2.
Oh no! Yeah, I didn't.
And they've got all these years. They had the opportunity to Americanize it like many installments ago, but this one they were like, no. We're making you all American this time.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something to say about like pulling things in line across the globe. It feels like it's much easier to do that now. Are we still? I can't even. Are we still in the era where they name things different on different continents?
Mario Strikers Battle League Football.
Oh, yeah, they kept that up. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's there's an obvious reason for that one because obviously over there football isn't football, soccer is football, and football is American football. So that I get, like that localizing that makes sense. But are there any games nowadays where you just go, why have you done that? I can't think of any.
I can't think of that many of recent times.
No.
I mean, 3DS era, yeah, we had like pull blocks and push mode, but like if we're talking Switch era, not really.
Okay. I found a solution to the naming thing. We should all go with the Japanese name, which is just Touch Kirby.
Nope.
Yeah, let's call it Touch Kirby.
Actually,
I tell a lie. Actually, in this era, we have had a Nintendo franchise that doesn't have the global name. It's Clubhouse Games, which we don't even call Clubhouse Games.
What do we call it?
We got
51 worldwide classics.
51 worldwide classics.
Josh has got the secret 50-second game.
I've unlocked the 50-second game.
if you're in Europe and you alphabetize your Switch games on your menu, that would be the first one there. Whereas America, they've got to dig for Clubhouse Games, whereas we get instant access.
Second, I want to play Othello. Bang, it's there. Okay, all right, fair enough. I thought you were going to say something like legs instead of arms, which would be more radical than that change. But
yeah, that's one that I do use the American name for because I think Clubhouse Games is just so much easier to say than 51 worldwide classics.
Rolls off the tongue
Want
a
to
bit
hop
better.
on 51 worldwide classics?
Do you want to bust out 51 worldwide classics? I'd love to play some 51 worldwide classics. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Okay, all right. So yes, all right. We'll call it whether you call it the Curse series, the Paintbrush series, the Touch series. Touch series probably makes more sense to be honest. But,
we're calling it Touch Kirby.
We're calling it Touch Kirby.
The Wii U one is Touch Kirby Super Rainbow. Just
incredible
for the full name.
Great name. Yes, these are they are very unmistakably Kirby games, but very different Kirby games. So, John, I'll start with you. Did you sort of get both when they came out, or what's your experience with the games?
I was a late bloomer when it came to the Touch Kirby series. So it launched, and I thought, this is cool. It's a touchscreen showcase, and touchscreens were still fairly new. But something about it just didn't say, like, scream, you must buy me. But then, as the years went on, people regarded it as, like, one of the best Kirby games. Like, it was an uncommon consensus to see, like, this is, like, like one of the best in the series. Which I think's died down a little bit now, but for a while that was, like, pretty popular. Just like, fine, I'll buy it. And you know what? It is very cool. Yeah. Especially in the time when like touchscreens were a pretty new novel thing. Very innovative game. And then maybe a Paintbrush came along, which I did buy day one. And I don't think it quite recaptured that energy of the original one. It's very beautiful, does some cool new things, but I think it was just a little bit too much of the same, quite a few years apart. And I still prefer the original from a gameplay perspective too. But it's a cool game though.
How about you, Josh? Do you prefer the second one? And like, did you play both when they came out?
No, so I think I have like the opposite experience from John. So I was very big in the early DS era. Like, it very oddly, like, 'cause not being part of the game industry at all, I think that era where the DS was about to come out was around the same time where I started watching E3 and stuff like that. So, like, my DS is American, my original DS, because I got a family friend to buy it for me when it was out there, so I could get it early.
Yeah.
And I used to have like a Microsoft Word document that had like the box art for every DS launch game that I was using as like a checklist. So I had all the Japanese ones as well, like Gambare Goemon, which I was like,
man.
I'll get that when it comes out in the
So
UK.
cool. Yeah, nice.
Sad.
Yeah.
No, cool. Like, don't get me wrong, we're all nerds
No, I mean,
here, but in terms of like cool nerds, that's cool.
No, I mean, it's sad that the Goemon game didn't come out. I know it's cool. I know I'm cool for making a checklist about DS games, but Goemon should have been here, should have been localized, alas. But obviously, Canvas Touch Kirby was one of those original DS games, and it wasn't like a. Actually, was it a launch game in Japan?
Ooh.
I don't think so.
It was a launch.
I don't think it was a launch, but I think it was really close. Like, I think. I want to say that it launched in Japan the same month that the DS came out in America. Something along those lines. 'Cause it's like March 2005, I'm pretty sure is when the game came out.
Very happy little cover as well in the Japanese one. Very cute.
Yes, it's very cute. And then they made him angry in America, as they do.
Of course, naturally.
So, but I really liked Touch Kirby. Like, I think growing up, it was like... my familiarity with the Kirby series was very much the Dreamland on the Game Boy, which I played a ton of. Then Smash Brothers. Then I think I had Return to Dreamland on... Not Return to Dreamland. Nightmare in Dreamland on the GBA.
Right.
And then it was Touch Kirby.
Right. So it was kind of like that almost like felt like the next step of Kirby games for you.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed it. I don't think I like 100%ed it or anything, but I did beat the main game. I'm pretty sure I unlocked like Meta Knight and King Dedede in it.
Yes.
Yeah. But then, by the time we got Touch Kirby Super Rainbow, it was I don't know, something about the game just didn't really strike me as being that interesting. Like, it looked really nice with its clay stuff, but I didn't get it when it came out. I own it now. I got it at CX for like a tenner. But I knew of someone when I was at university who loved the Wii U and bought like every single Wii U game that came out.
Was it me?
It was. Did we know each other before?
No. I was lonely and being like, "This is a really good thing. Everyone should buy it," and nobody bought it.
Yeah, I didn't buy it at launch, and I own it now. But I just wasn't that enthralled in it. Like, it's a good game, but it's not as good as the original, I guess.
Interesting.
But I don't even know if that's like an objective thing or if that's more of a... I just had stronger feelings for the original.
Yeah, I think that's quite, I think people are quite divided on what they prefer. Interestingly, I have sort of quite a similar path to you. I really enjoyed the original on the DS. And then I never actually bought it for the Wii U. And I don't know why, because I really enjoyed it, its prequel. It is, I mean, even if you look back at the videos now, it is gorgeous. The cutscenes are sort of claymation, and they are a kind of lower frame rate, right, to be like a sort of claymation film, to sort of go along with that kind of style. And because of that, they still watch really beautifully. Like, if you go back and look at them, they look incredible. But the game, I don't know, I just wasn't really... I think by that point I was sort of, the Wii U was struggling a lot, obviously. People weren't really buying the things. It was just a game where I thought, I don't know if I'm sort of committed to grabbing everything for the system. And I think it's a shame it's not come to the Switch. The Switch does have touch capabilities. It would work on there. But it's just one of the few Wii U games that they never ended up porting across, which I think is a massive shame. Especially because John touched on this, when you're playing that game, if you're watching it on the telly, it looks incredible, but you have to play most of it on the Wii U gamepad, where it looks dreadful. So you don't get to appreciate that. And, obviously the Switch is much more capable in that, particularly, or Switch 2, would be incredible to have that. So I feel like they really missed a trick by not porting it over there. Do you prefer the artistic style, John, of the sort of claymation thing, or do you prefer the kind of purity of the original one?
Oh, no, I love how Rainbow Paintbrush looks. Like, there's such a beautiful style. I always wanted it to be one of those games that got ported to 3DS, because a few Wii U games did, like Captain Toad and Hyrule Warriors, and this felt like a really natural one. I don't know why it didn't. Yeah,
strange actually. Josh, you touched on the unlocking Dedede and Meta Knight in the original. So they it's strange because they then forego the copy abilities, but they have their own kind of abilities there.
Yeah.
And then we mentioned, a Bandana Wallaby coming along in the second one. Do you feel like that kind of hampered Rainbow Curse, the fact that you didn't have the other characters available to you? I mean, Meta Knight and Dedede don't actually show up in the game at all in Rainbow Curse, which is quite unusual for a Kirby game. Did you miss those other options, or did you sort of feel satisfied with having Waddle Dee and also the transformations instead of copy abilities?
I mean, I guess not, because for some reason in my head I thought that they wore in the other one.
Cool.
So for some reason I thought that you could unlock them and use them just the same way, but I guess
amiibo,
not.
So, the amiibo, you can touch them and they give you like a power up for one level.
But
they're not there.
That's probably what I'm thinking. Maybe. Yeah.
Just fact check.
Who knows?
Lie. Let's see about this. You're probably right, but I've got to fact check.
I feel a bit attacked right now. Yeah, all right, we decided today, and I threw a quiz together, but I did do some research. I mean, fact check it and hopefully prove me right. But I did a bit of research. I think I'm right about this.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Cool. My journalistic integrity is intact. Yes, so yeah, then they're not in the game. There are, a few changes. I think a big complaint about the first game was not having any boss battles, and then boss battles came back in Rainbow Paintbrush. But then, it's kind of there's only I think 3 or 4 bosses, and then they repeat, which people are obviously quite irritated about. The games do largely play the same, though. You are essentially just drawing lines to guide Kirby and boosting along those lines. There are great challenges. There's modes where you have to draw as few lines as possible, which adds nice strategy. There's sub-games in the latter game, time attack things or surviving or racing, that kind of thing. So, it feels like there's a nice amount of content in there and lots of hidden collectibles, as you'd expect from a Kirby game. One thing I think is interesting about the Kirby series, and I don't know if you guys agree with me, people bang on about timelines and everything for Nintendo games, and, the sort of gold standard is always Metroid, although that's kind of become a bit wibbly wobbly now. But I feel like Kirby as a universe and a timeline has a really tight universe and timeline. Am I right about this?
I mean, I'd say Kirby timeline is very straightforward in that it's a straight line. Like, I can't think of any attempts of them going backwards. But what Kirby series does really excel at is continuity.
Yes.
There is very much continuity, especially after Sakurai stepped away and they brought it back from Return to Dreamlands. I can't remember the name off the top of my head who the director is, but he's been very on it in terms of like, all right, we're going to introduce Magalore and the Ancients and all this, and then Triple Deluxe has like sly references to it, and it brings back the Amazing Mirror, and that's like a big twist at the end that's part of the problem. And then,
that
like you said, it's
butterfly ended up being
butterfly.
Yeah.
It's just so good at like intertwining everything together, and I'm sure that's probably what came out. I'm sure when Drosea was envisioned, she didn't have 2 sisters. No, but they were like, well, we're making a sequel, we'll give her one, but also we're making this paintbrush character who's also a witch type character, so why don't we make them the same?
And it's never explicitly stated, but they are so obviously sisters. They all end in Sia. They all have a sort of similar artistic bent. So it's I really love those touches scattered throughout the universe. That's never necessarily acknowledged outright, but it's there. It's there in the games.
One thing I have just sort of realised from this is that, like, Adeline has not been present in any of these games, despite probably being the most popular artist character from the Kirby series.
Oh, yeah. I don't know
that
if
could be in the pitch, though, maybe.
Could be, maybe.
Maybe. Let me just get my pen. Yes, I enjoy the canon, and the other thing I think is very consistent about Kirby games are absolute banging soundtracks. Kirby soundtracks just hit really hard and are consistently so excellent. Do you sort of have a memory of that, John, from these games? Do you the sort of overall kind of artistic experience of it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think this is probably the pinnacle of how Kirby's ever looked, especially Rainbow Paintbrush art style. Because Kirby doesn't really experiment that much with its art. Outside of like Epic Yarn, it's usually quite a traditional look. I think Forgotten Land's really the only one that really changed the aesthetic up a ton. Otherwise, it's pretty typical what to expect from a Kirby game. But these ones, they just go out there to be artistic in so many ways, from a gameplay perspective, from a visual perspective. They're really unique.
Yeah, it's quite nice as well. I think there's things like unlockables, so you can change how your line looks, and just small touches like that let you personalize the game. I always liked we talked about maybe covering Robobot, but we decided it's part of the main Kirby series, so we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
But I love that you could chuck stickers onto the big mech and stuff. I just think touches like that let you sort of create your own little sort of world within the world. I really like that. But there's not a ton of that in these games. The figures and collectibles and stuff in Rainbow Paintbrush are very cool. They don't do anything. You just stick them on a shelf. But they look cool. And it's just a beautiful looking game. I suppose the last thing we'll probably talk about is thoughts on Aline, as a kind of Kirby companion. Because Kirby, does pick up companions throughout the game. A memorable character for you both? Or one that's kind of, consigned to the memory banks? No, I don't think ever made a comeback as far as I can remember.
I'm drawing blanks here. I can form a small image of what they might have looked like, but
I remember what they look like. And they do show up. They do show up in terms of references and as part of that continuity thing. They've shown up in promotional materials. I think Aline has a mask in Return to Dreamland Deluxe because that just has masks from across the whole series.
Yeah.
She shows up a bit, but I think because she's not a main series character, she doesn't get the Star Allies treatment. She wasn't one of the allies brought in for that game celebration. She's fine. She does give me a little bit of modern Paper Mario companion.
Yeah.
Like Olivia and Huey and Kirsty. It's a very similar vibe. It's a neat way of contextualizing the paintbrush. Because I'm pretty sure that's the idea. I feel like the idea is that it's her that you're the one controlling doing the painting.
Hair, which is clearly like a little paint splodge.
Yeah, so it's a cute way of contextualizing that. But yeah, she hasn't made the strongest impression compared to Elfalane, for example, or Magalore.
Yeah, I mean Magalor's a huge one, isn't he? I think you're right in the sort of relegated kind of B tier, like Prince Fluff, Prince Fluff's my boy. I love Prince Fluff, but he's just sort of forgotten in the sort of sands of Kirby time. Will Aline make a comeback? We're about to find out, because Josh, you won the quiz, which means you are now the president of Nintendo, but we are the board, and we demand that you bring back the Kirby Touch Curse paintbrush series and that you make it a great big success. So please tell us, how do you plan to do it?
All right. So the Touch Kirby series was well known because you could touch. That was the whole thing. Mm-hmm. The DS was about touching stuff. Mm-hmm. We wanted them to touch Kirby. We did it. And then when the Wii U gamepad came back, it was also about touching. Mm-hmm. So we wanted people to touch again. So we did it again. Mm-hmm. But the Switch 2, it's not really about touching. Sure, you can touch, but you could touch on the 3DS and nobody did. So we didn't do it for that. And the Switch 2, the Switch 1, you can touch. Nobody does. Come on. We all play docked. We all slap that bad boy on the screen and we see it. No. But there is something. There is something we now do with the Switch 2. Mm-hmm. It's not touching anymore. Mm-hmm. It's clicking.
Oh.
We now click Kirby instead. Mm. So, we're now going to build a game around the Joy-Con mouse. Mm-hmm. Where Kirby, everything you do is now mouse clicks. You click here, Kirby goes here. You click on this, it activates. You click on this enemy, they get paralyzed or they get stuck. Or you talk to this NPC. We're going to make a point and click adventure game based around Kirby.
Okay.
We're calling it Click Kirby, or we're calling it Kirby and the Digital Curse.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Otherwise known as the modern internet, the Digital Curse.
Yes, exactly. That's the PAL name, Kirby and the Modern Internet. So, the plot is going to be that Kirby gets sucked into King Dedede's computer and is now in the digital realm and has to figure out how to escape. And he's got a little mouse buddy called Clicky, who is going to be your little companion for this, and will contextualize the clicks. And you have to navigate through King Dedede's computer, and
Okay.
What's the problem? What's the problem with this?
No problem. There's no problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna. Yeah, go on.
Carry on with your pitch. I'm just gonna. Yeah. That's in there. Just carry on.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna go through, and it's different worlds, but it's like a point and click adventure game. It's a genre that Kirby hasn't tackled before. And we're gonna play it like one. You go to all these digital, and there's gonna be digital versions of popular, Kirby characters. It's gonna be digital Ds, and digital Doos. And digital bros juniors, whatever the bomb ones are called, and you
can't call them digital Ds. You simply cannot.
What did G's? What did G? No, it doesn't work. I quite like Digides.
Digites.
Okay.
King Digiddd.
That's less good, but I think. But anyway, digital versions of these enemies.
You go around, you do tasks, and a point-and-click adventure game, you have to go and get items and give it to the right people and stuff like this. But we're going to incorporate Kirby's power-ups into this. So you have to go and get Kirby's power-ups and then drag them and drop them onto Kirby to transform, and then click on Kirby to use said power-ups for different situations. So you've got to go around and find the different digital power-ups and use them in the specific scenarios to advance further into Dedede's hard drive.
Okay.
Okay, so this genre is one that I love. But a hurdle and a staple is not always knowing what to do and just sort of clicking on everything until you find the answer. Is that gonna be in here? Or are you gonna streamline it so you're not just trying to merge all these items with Kirby until you find the right one? How are you gonna overcome that hurdle?
Yeah, we'll streamline it. Yeah, we'll definitely make it a lot more simpler because we expect a younger audience to play this. Clicky is there to help. If you do seriously get stuck, you can ask Clicky for advice.
Is he the Microsoft paperclip? Is that what you're imagining here?
He's a mouse. He's a little digital mouse called Clicky, who pops up on the side and asks you if you need help.
Is he a mouse that looks like a mouse arrow, but also a mouse?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, fine. That was easy.
Yes, that is him. That is him. Okay. And so if you do get stuck, there's going to be a lot of trying things, but things will be a bit more contextualized. There'll be stuff that's looks wooden, it burns. There'll be ropes that you have to cut with the cutter ability. Kirby's very good at using visual cues to figure out how stuff works with the copy abilities in game. And so we'll do that here. And we'll contextualize the power-ups as being programs, like fire.exe.
Oh, nice.
And then you drag that onto Kirby activates. Okay.
I'm just gonna bring up the elephant in the room. What are we finding on Dedede's computer?
On Dedede's hard drive.
What if you come across a folder? I mean, Okay, just walk me through how this works. So Kirby gets is it like Tron style? Gets digitized into the computer, sucked in, and then he meets Clicky. They're sort of is it okay? Two questions. First of all, is there any sort of hint of the old drawing lines that we have from the rest of the Touch series? And two, if not, how is the point and click adventure sort of playing out? Because that might give me a clue to my former question.
So there's no hints of the drawing lines.
That's gone.
Out because we're not touching anymore. We're clicking.
Okay.
So it's all about clicking stuff.
All about clicking.
Potentially there could be a hint of you have to click here, drag here and then let go of the click here to drag something along.
Yeah.
But it's going to be for very specific puzzles. Because there'll be some puzzles where you can use Clicky to click something that's far away. An early puzzle will be to click something that's behind a gate that Kirby couldn't reach normally to open the gate, and that shows you that you can reach further away with mouse clicks. the way it's done visually is, think like have you ever played Kirby the Arena? Oh, what's it called? Kirby, the 3DS
Fighters.
one that nobody played.
Fighters 2
Not
or
Fighters,
Kirby Clash?
Battle Arena. No, it's the one nobody played.
Battle Royale, right?
Battle Royale, that's it.
The one where
yeah.
you're fighting like big bosses. Is it that one?
No, that's Super Clash.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. I told you,
too
the
many
one
games.
There are a bunch of
Battle-
really
Kirby
similar
Battle
games.
Royale.
I mean, yeah. I
Yeah.
definitely want to cover some of them, by the way, because they're excellent. But okay, anyway, Battle Royale.
Yeah, it's a Battle Royale. So it's like an isometric style game. So because part of it is that you can't move Kirby. You have to click and Kirby follows.
Right.
So because it's point and click.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we're not doing. It's not a 2D side scrolling game. It's going to be, although maybe we'll have like a room or something that's in the 2D style where you can only click left and right, and if you try and click down, Kirby just falls over. Like
No, I like
that's
that.
going to be.
I like isometric.
Yeah, so it's going to be an isometric style game. As for what it is, I mean, you start on the desktop, obviously, and it's like imagine the Windows XP hills, but it's like the Dreamland hills, right? And you start like there, but as you jump into different pieces of software on King Dedede's computer, that changes the different aesthetics.
So here's where I'm getting to then. So, all right, so you're going to different software. What happens, if you come across a folder that says, naughty Meta Knight snaps? Do you like what's on there, Josh? What's Dedede got on his hard drive?
Wow. You see, King Dedede, he's a king, right? And a bit of king needs a bit of blackmail. So he's got a bit of things on everyone in there. And in Meta Knight's case, you click through it, it's a folder, and it's like, you better not go in here. You click on it again, it's like, if this is Meta Knight, you better turn around, to be honest. Do not go in. And then you click there, and what do you see? Meta Knight, he's sitting there, he's got a big old strawberry cake in front of him, and he's going to town on it. He's covered in strawberries and creams.
Okay.
Meta Knight loves his cake, and he doesn't like anyone knowing about it. So, King Dedede's got that snapshot of him.
Dedede is not present within the computer, though. He's in the real world still, right?
Yeah, he's in the real world still. Like, all the characters
is he manipulating things from the real world to mess with Kirby within the computer?
So here there might be a part of the story where King Dedede goes onto his computer, unaware that Kirby is trapped inside of it.
So he doesn't know. This isn't a nefarious plan of his.
This isn't a nefarious plan. No. Kirby has been cursed by Virusia, who is
excellent,
destroying King Dedede's computer from the inside out, and is hoping to break out of Dedede's computer and infest the whole Dreamland network.
Oh no!
And Kirby's got to stop. Got to stop her before she does that. Okay. So King Dedede isn't aware, but he might accidentally. You might occasionally. Could be King Dedede. It could be a Waddle Dee. It could be Bandana Waddle Dee. Maybe it's Meta Knight looking for incriminating evidence. Gets in the way.
It'd be so good just to see his emails. What kind of emails is Dedede sending? Like, is he sending one to a hammer shop being like, unsatisfied with this product? I feel like he would definitely email about being unsatisfied about products. He feels like the sort of person that would do that.
Is he literate? Is Dedede a literate
King Dedede is very literate. He's a king.
He's a monarch, Josh.
You don't get to that position by being illiterate, John. I mean, come on now.
Sure. You get there through murdering and blackmail, apparently.
True,
which is
true.
Yeah. What's happening?
King Dedede goes on, and he goes to the browser, and he starts downloading extremely high quality PNGs of food, realistic food, the ones from Kirby Air Riders, that sort of level of food, and we'll just look at it for a bit.
Incredibly, so like. I actually really love this. So like everything is sort of skirted around by anything that you think might be something else in the game just ends up being food. It's basically food stuff all through the game.
I mean, is that not what Kirby is really all about?
It is on theme. Who's developing the game for you?
How's developing the game? How's got the quest? They develop all the Kirby games now at this point. What was the last one they didn't develop? Epic Yarn?
I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so it's isometric. virus here sucks into the computer, destroying King Dedede's thing. I guess the last question I have is I just want to hear about the final boss fight, because the final boss fights in Kirby tend to be quite epic. How are you going to do that in a point-and-click adventure? Are there going to be boss battles?
There's going to be some boss battles, but they're going to be a lot slower, because obviously you've got to click to move Kirby around, don't you? So there's going to be like you can't just have a barrage of things, but we'll have little signs like Digital Krakow. When he does a lightning thing, you'll see the thing appear below Kirby before, and you have to click away so that Kirby moves out of the way before the lightning strikes.
All right.
But it's going to be mainly about figuring out on these boss battles what in the environment or the character needs attack or the enemy needs attacking for to do the damage. Although one of the boss fights will be the return of the computer virus boss fight from Kirby Superstar, which played like a JRPG fight.
Yeah.
Where you have to click attack, defend, or whatever, and
Very nice.
do health. And when it comes to that, it is just going to be a turn-based RPG randomly, where you click the appropriate things.
Why not? Stick whatever you want in there. Okay, all right. I mean, it's a twist on the series, but it all sounds pretty good. Any final questions from you, John?
I don't think so. I think this sounds rad.
All right, there we go.
Hire me
So
now.
yes, click Kirby or Kirby and the Digital Curse over. No, surely Kirby and the Digital Curse is the US one, because we can't.
Yeah,
say
that's
curse.
the US one.
So
and then
click
it's Kirby and the modern internet is the power one.
Oh yes. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot Kirby and the modern internet. And then it's Click Kirby in Japan.
Yes, click Kirby.
Thank
Click
you for giving me
Kirby.
all three titles. I feel like that's important when summarising a pitch, and it's going to be an absolute nightmare to remember all of them. John, you are now the president of Nintendo, but we are still the board, and we still demand that you bring back the Kirby Touch Curse Paintbrush Click series, and you make it a great big success. So please tell us, how do you plan to do it?
Strap in.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Boy.
here's the pitch. We are in Dreamland. Kirby's eating an apple. He's just living life to the fullest.
Classic.
And then Dark Aura comes in. Uh-oh. It's
Oh,
Dark
no.
Aura.
Not again.
Uh-oh. Dark Aura comes in. He says, "Death comes for us all, Kirby."
Oh, not again.
Checks out. Yep.
Dark Aura speaks full English.
Okay.
And opens up the void to the monochrome realm where Kirby is sucked in. And then Dark Aura says, "Kirby, you can't be having that mouth of yours, Kirby." And then puts a big plaster on Kirby's mouth.
No. Actual nightmare fuel for Kirby.
Kirby is stuck in a colorless realm and cannot use his mouth. What? What are we going to do?
What are we gonna do?
Dark Aura vanishes, leaving Kirby all alone. However, from a crevice, a little bit of color bleeds through, and out comes this colorful looking mouse. I'm not copying you. This was my idea too. Colorful looking mouse, and the mouse is called. Can't call it Clicky. The mouse is called.
There's got to be a good Kirby little mouse. I mean,
Hey,
can it be a cousin of DeRoach?
no,
No.
you can't. No, he's just called Squeaky.
All right.
Just called.
All right.
Not even Squeaky, just Squeak. Just called Squeak.
Okay.
Squeak.
And
No
this
relation to the
colourful
sweet
mouse says, he doesn't speak English, he just goes, and then Kirby and Squeak become friends. And every time Squeak moves, he fills the screen with colour and returns colour to the realm. However, we at Nintendo believe while the Joy-Con mouse has its utility, we don't want to have users using it for the duration of an entire playthrough. Because while it's cool, the comfort factor maybe wouldn't last for 10 hours, right? So what we're doing this time was actually kind of merging the ideas of Rainbow Paintbrush. So this is a traditional Kirby platformer, and there's a reason why his mouth has been plastered shut. Because Kirby cannot fly in this. He cannot suck in this. Air cannot come into his body. So he can jump, he can run around, much like Waddle Dee could in Rainbow Paintbrush. So you got traditional Kirby platformer elements, but he can't attack and he can't fly. So if you want to get somewhere higher or attack enemies, you've got to put your Joy-Con mouse on your lap, on a surface, and you enter a more traditional, power paintbrush kind of style, where the Joy-Con mouse goes on screen, Squeak appears, move him around, and just bring color back to the realm. Also, whenever Kirby moves as well, he's also bringing color back to the realm, so you're just always getting this big splash of color. It's like the blob, some might say. And you're going to be playing these two different styles of Kirby, the platformer style and the power paintbrush style. And we think this is going to make for the best of both worlds. Because how often during power paintbrush and rainbow paintbrush did you think to yourself, I want to take it a bit slower. I'm always moving around. I just want to be able to get that collectible without going round and round and round. You can stop whenever you want, apart from when you can't, okay? Because there's going to be some areas where there's no ground. You've just got sludge. You can't land there. You've got to be full on in the power paintbrush style. But there's going to be plenty of other segments where you can mix and match, especially when it comes to the boss battles. Because you can't attack. You can't attack as Kirby. You've got to put that mouse down.
Yep.
And here's a little gimmick for you, okay? If you hold down ZR, you're going to be just held in place. You can't really move the mouse cursor, but you can move the Joy-Con still. And you've got to go shimmy it against the table. You're revving up and go! And when you do that, you get the feedback from HD Rumble, which feels so nice because you can feel it getting harder and harder and harder until it finally releases.
Nice.
Nice.
That's what we made the Joy-Con 2 for.
I'm not saying anything about that. Do you know what? That's low-hanging fruit, and that's too easy. So we've got a Sonic 2 style sort of rev up.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sonic, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the general gist of the game. You're going through these levels. It's a mix of platforming. It's a mix of power paintbrush, and it's bringing color back to the world, the blob style.
Okay.
I think we're going to have a lot of similar themes in our pitches.
Oh dear.
First
dear.
question. Is
Yes.
Kirby black and white, or is he also pink like normal?
Kirby has full range of color. So
Kirby is
we thought about this very carefully. We thought users wouldn't really want to just see a lack of color everywhere. It's about bringing color back, and Kirby is that spark that does so, and so is Squeak. But they work together. They're a duo.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Given at HAL the importance of continuity, are we doing anything with our other monochrome based series that already exists that we have a lot of?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Box Boy is gonna be so present. Some might even call them the main character. No, they're not the main character. But we will have Easter eggs to Box Boy throughout the game. So you'll see sometimes in the background you'll just see like recreations of some Box Boy levels, just like little winks towards the series. And there will be a Box Boy boss at one point where you face down against Box Boy and Box Girl. And they keep making new boxes, and you've got to rev through them. And if you don't rev through them hard enough, you only get through a few boxes. You've really got to go full rev.
You're fully rev to smash them boxes.
Exactly.
Lovely. Tell me about. So we've got Dark Aura, and we're saying boss battles are returning.
Yes.
Tell me about the boss battles, and then if you can't. Sort of directly, you've got the rev power up, but are there other ways to take down enemies? Is that the pure kind of attack form? How are you going to take on these challenges?
You can whack them. You can whack them. So if you rev up, that's Kirby attacking them, but Squeak can attack too. You can just sort of flick hard. So if you bring the mouse over an enemy, that's not going to do any damage. But if there's a hard flick, you're going to do a little bit of damage. Okay. Not that much, though. So it's good for dealing with grunts, but when it comes to bosses, we recommend that you rev and you rev hard.
All right. I think that's fair.
So I've got two questions, actually. Two quite important questions that I'm surprised didn't think about until now. Objective-wise, in this game, is it just like a platformer, or is there something that we need to do to actually bring color back to these worlds? Because like Squeak can bring color to things, but it sounds like that doesn't actually matter and it's purely visual.
I'm really glad you asked because we have a great answer for this. So basically, there are going to be 5 key collectibles throughout the level. And in order to get these collectibles, you've got to interact with the environment. So while it's not necessary to bring the entire level to a full color spectrum, there are going to be some quite suspicious-looking background details that you can bring color to. And if you're able to bring color to them, like maybe there's a fountain in the background, which, it's spouting all this water, and you think, that's drawing my eye. And if you go in, you sort of color in the fountain, and a big gem comes out of it, and that's all yours. So there is incentive to bring color back to the levels to get those collectibles. But basically, at the end of each world, you're going to be bringing color back to the world map. So you get the end of world little collectible thingy, and all of a sudden the world map's going to get this big spring of color. But the levels themselves, that's purely player controlled when it comes to bringing color back.
Okay. And then the second question then that's related is that in the Touch, Curse, Paintbrush series, we usually have, you can't draw unlimited lines. There is a finite resource paint usually for drawing. Do we have something like that here as well? Is there only so much paint Squeak can use?
Yeah, of course. It's replenishable. It regenerates over time. So once you use it, that line's going to slowly build back up. But if you keep trying to go, that's not going to be enough. However, I know what you're thinking. I want to be coloring this entire level, and I'll be waiting around. That's boring. Snooze, cruise. What I failed to mention is when you swipe at enemies in the attack form, that also regenerates your gauge and can push it beyond the limits. So you get your gauge, right? But if you're attacking enemies and getting more paint in there, it's come out of there. It goes all the way across the screen, but it will slowly dip back to the completed state. So in that small period, you can paint to your heart's delight. Yeah.
Are there any quirks that Kirby gets when he's on a coloured plane versus a monochrome plane?
Yeah. Kirby starts doing a little dance. If you don't touch the controller for 2 seconds while on a coloured plane.
I was going to say, that would be really annoying.
not dancing the entire time.
In the middle of this really tight platforming section, he just does this little thing, busts out into 3 Kirbys. Incredible.
I had to do this, so describe the last boss. How is this going down? And how are we beating Dark Void?
Yeah, so it's against Dark Void. And Dark Void, he taunts you the entire time with full English dialogue. Kirby, if you defeat me, there's going to be no darkness, and you can't have light without darkness, Kirby. And Kirby, while attacking, is also listening to these little taunts. And Kirby realizes that Dark Void is right. You can't have light without dark. Imagine if everything was just light all the time. We would lose our minds. Yeah. So right at the end, when Dark Void has 0 health, which you deal damage by revving in, but it's also the arena is full of sludge as well. So you can't miss your revs, otherwise you're going into the sludge. Once you get onto 0%, 0.1%, Kirby will no longer listen, and nor will Squeak. And there's this moral dilemma where you get multiple endings, and it's going to slow down, everything's in slow motion. And Squeak stops and says, "What do we do, Kirby?" And you've got to either defeat Dark Void or let them live.
Finally speaks.
Squeak just goes,
This is a big moment. Squeak doesn't speak. This is like a big moment,
Squeak's
though.
Who's basically just been going the whole time, but then at the end it's just like, what are we going to do, mate? He's just been able to actually do it the whole time.
Do we whack him? And Kirby's still
mouth. The voice that you picked for Dark Void, is this a canon voice for Dark Void, or is this the voice that you, as the maker of this game, are choosing for... Just give us a hit.
This is the canon voice.
Give us a hit of Dark Void again.
Okay. Kirby...
So weirdly off-putting. Why have you picked
this
voice? Well, it's like Kirby. It's not this.
It's Kirby.
It's not a villain.
Death comes for us all, Kirby.
It's awful. Such a horrible.
It's iconic catchphrase.
Okay, all right. So Okay, so Squeak, is his name Squeak? His name is Squeak. Squeak
Yeah,
comes
Squeak.
along, and he absolutely does not squeak. Instead, he goes, "What are we going to do? What are we going to do, mate?" And then, all right. So what happens after this bombshell revelation from Squeak? What happens?
It's player controlled. You can decide not to rev, or you can rev full on and destroy darkness. If you go for that ending, Kirby goes back to Dreamland, but no one can sleep. No one can sleep, and it says, "The end?" Question mark. That's not the true ending. Okay. If you are to instead not rev up against Dark Void and not attack, Dark Void's going to say, "What's wrong, Kirby? I thought
So horrible.
I thought you wanted to rid the darkness, Kirby." And then Dark Void says, "Hang on, Kirby. I think I understand now. While you can't have light without darkness, you also can't have darkness without light, Kirby. I think we can all live in unison, Kirby.
He's gone strangely
Although,
Dalek. You've gone a
you
bit
still
Dalek.
have to be careful, because remember, Kirby, death does come for us all." And then you end up back in Dreamland. And it also says "the end?" question mark, because it's still quite ambiguous.
God. Is this still,
Is Kirby's
And then there's a
mouth still
secret
sealed up
third
in all this?
ending.
Squeak just goes, "It's done, mate. It's done. Don't worry about it." Okay, incredible voice direction for this game.
Yeah.
Well sourced. No, we did mention obviously that. Oh, I remember I was going to ask before, so I'm going to put this in earlier. Transformation. So we've said there's no copy abilities, there's no flight and things. There are transformations in the Rainbow Curse. Are we going to see anything like that that's going to mix up the gameplay?
We think that's cowardly.
Okay.
We think it is utterly cowardly.
Fair.
We are just going to have the base gameplay, and we trust it. We trust that we have enough imagination to fulfill those gimmicks without needing to rely on cheap tricks. No gimmicks.
Let me just scrub that out of my pitch. And so obviously, no, we did. We touched on the fact that Dedede and Meta Knight aren't in Rainbow Curse. Are they gonna come back here? I mean, purely so we can hear Void saying "D and Meta Knight would be. I would hope that they're in just to get those voice clips.
Unfortunately, they're not. No, Kirby is the only one in this world.
Right.
No one else is sucked in.
Bandana D, because Bandana D's in Rainbow Curse.
No.
Right.
If you play multiplayer, though, which you can do, you just get different colored Kirbys. And let me explain a little bit with that, very briefly. If you can play with a single Joy-Con if you want to, and when playing that, you can still just plump down another controller. Squeak, other people's Squeaks, they're different colors as well. It's going to be really easily playable. Very nice.
All right.
Cool,
Any final questions, Josh?
No. Oh, and I know how the game ends now, which is good. That's very vital information
I don't know if it does end. Everything is a question mark with this game. I assume it's HAL Labs, John.
Oh yeah, HAL are all over this one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we're short on time, so I will throw in a third very familiar sounding pitch for my game. So mine is called. I was about to say George, and that's not right. It's I've definitely lost time of the
George and the Rainbow. This was me in art class when I was a young lad.
Are you okay? You're looking at your notes. And you're like, I think it's called George.
You can't call it that because Josh, you can't say George and the Rainbow Curse because it makes me sound anti-LGBTQ. Like, we can't. That's not okay. We definitely can't say that. No, it's called Kirby and the Palette Curse. Kirby and the Palette Curse. So I'm streamlining the series into being one thing, which is the Curse series of games. And in this game, Erasia has come through a portal in the sky and is sucking all the colour out of Dreamland. And Aline makes a line, whatever they're called, makes a comeback. Erasia and his monochronies are coming and taking all the colour out of Dreamland. Definitely nicking that. Excellent, Josh. Well done. Aline comes back. It's like, Kirby, you've got to come save the day. This is the worst sister of them all, and she wants to take all the colour out of the world. And it's a mix of the traditional Kirby Curse games and this little known game that you might not know called De Blob, where you play as a paint blob.
Sounds interesting.
And you add paint to the world. So I was thinking like Splatoon, kind of De Blobby kind of thing. So you are Kirby, and Kirby is white. So Kirby is like I think there wants to be like a cheeky hint to his, original box art, right, and his Game Boy thing of being white, being like, oh, this is familiar, sort of thing. Anyway, so Kirby has also lost his feet somehow. I haven't. Oh, yes, I do. Eraser rubs out his feet, so he's a ball
cheeky.
again. He's a ball again. Erases the feet. So you are in these worlds, and it is a platforming adventure, but it's a bit more kind of. I like that Rainbow Curse is a bit more exploratory. Canvas Curse, because of the small screens, it's kind of action packed. So you have these huge monochrome worlds, and when you smash into a monochrony, they sort of burst into original Kirby enemies, but they are made of paint. So you smash into a Waddle Doo, and then suddenly he's red and he's made of red paint, and your job is to then sort of whiz Kirby into things by drawing these lines. When Kirby smacks against something, he will colour it in that colour. And you can clear a certain amount of percentage of a level and then sort of get to an exit, like an inkwell that you sort of go down. If you do 100%, you get a collectible, and the collectibles are beautiful pieces of real world art reimagined in Kirby characters. So I mentioned to you guys in the little break that my wife and I were obsessed with Kirby for a while. So we made some of these. For example, Kirby in the pearl earring. So you unlock these very silly little paintings of Kirby, which you have up in a lovely gallery. And then you have, you've got a line. You've got I don't know if you've got transformations. I don't think you do. But the big thing that you've got for this game is that you have a sort of you can make your own monochrome levels. They're going to be called masterpieces, and you can put them online, and people can then colour them in with Kirby, and then they send it back to you. So you get a whole gallery of different ways your monochrome picture has been imagined by other people. So it's a good game for sharing nice viral moments online. But like, look at this person's done to my painting. It's crazy. Yeah, and that's it. There are boss battles back. So the bosses are angry when they're monochrome, but you colour Wispy Woods in to beat Wispy Woods, and they're sort of thankful, and then maybe they all team up to take down Erasia at the end. I want to say that you can play as Dedede and Meta Knight and Bandana D, and instead of having sort of, I want them to play fundamentally differently though. So you can essentially play the game through 4 times in like a fundamentally different way each time. Developed, of course, by HAL Labs. And that's it, really. I just want to see. I really liked it as a game. Oh no, the big thing, all mouse controls. So you can use the sticks, but I want it to be really simple. So a line is always on the screen. She is the cursor, right? And you don't have to touch the screen, so you can look at the lovely, gorgeous television screen when it's docked. You click one button and hold it down to draw a line, and you click the other button to boost Kirby, and that's it. So super simple, not clunky like Metro Prime 4, where it feels like you're like a claw hand trying to make things work. It is literally click left, click right. That's it. That's all the controls you need for the game. And if you don't want to use a mouse, you use the other stick, and you hold down a button to draw the line, and you press the other button to boost Kirby. That's it. That's my pitch. I will accept. It's late. I'll accept one question from each board member. Make it a good one.
Okay. How does the final boss go?
Go. Most important part of game development. What is the final boss going?
What's the final boss like?
So I think it is, they're always really epic, fantastic final fights in Kirby games. So I think you've got like this kind of arsenal of weapons that you can use to attack the enemy, but you have to basically take down his monochronies and paint them. And you've got to like hit against each kind of thing, like there's a cannon or something that can shoot, but you've got to hit it 3 times. And if you don't like get to the enemies fast enough and get back to the paint fast enough, he can then throw a kind of eraser to erase the color there. So you've kind of got that push pull. And then after you've done that enough times, he transforms into this big swirling mass. Maybe he is got a really colorful soul, and he hates it, so he's trying to rid the world of it. So he's then sort of flinging color around, which you somehow have to use against him, or maybe then you have to be the eraser and get rid of that and change him. Not sure, but definitely the first one is like coloring things in quick enough to then use against him while he's trying to erase things and sort of populating it with villains. And then some sort of epic boss fight with just focus on just him. If you have any good ideas for that, please comment below. I haven't thought through the final boss, but yes, classic two-stage Kirby final boss as well.
I've got a question which applies to all of us doing these pitches, but we have escaped them, so it's on you to answer it.
All right.
We are in a
What's
realm.
on Dedede's hard drive?
I think I answered that one, all right.
You did ask this one. You did.
Yeah. We're in a realm where games are a lot more expensive. In the era when Power Paintbrush came out, DS games were like £30.
Yeah.
And then with Rainbow Paintbrush, they made it so it was a budget Wii U game. I think it was like $50, maybe even $40. And then now, $70 is like the standard Switch 2 game, right?
That's awful.
And because of because of game card prices, you can't really make it a whole lot cheaper. We haven't really seen a Switch 2 game debut at that like a low price. So what I'm asking is, if we are to charge a premium or like a regular price for this game, does it have the content to justify that?
$100.
It's a full.
I'm fully confident in that.
$1,000. No, it's a fully fledged adventure. You know, you have multiple levels. Maybe there's sort of 8, 10, 12 worlds that have different themes. You're coloring things in different ways. Huge exploration. You know, there will be mini games. Obviously, Kirby's very famous for mini games as well. So there'll be mini games that go along with it. The sharing, the sort of masterpiece sharing is a lovely thing. I think it's a very packed content. I don't think it'll be premium price. I don't think any game should be this sort of Nintendo Switch 2 premium price. But I think enough to justify 60 sort of to 70 quid. There'll be Kirby games are always packed with content. I'm not worried about the content. I think there's enough there.
I was gonna say, because that my is more narrative driven, so to justify the price, we're going to write a very heart-wrenching story with full cinematics, maybe even a bit of mocap, who knows?
Incredible. John is mocap trained. Is John going to be?
The director's going to say, John, we need you to go like this.
Incredible. How round can you make yourself, John? I'm not...
Oh, that's pretty...
I think... We're going to have to take it back to the
sharp.
Pretty round. Yes, for those listening, that was a perfect circle.
That was the most triangular shape I've ever... You looked like a human Toblerone. It was awful. No, we can go... We'll cast Jon, Josh. We'll cast him. He'll make it work.
I'll make it work.
Yeah. We'll play every character.
3 ways to bring back the Kirby Touch/Curse/Paintbrush series. But do you like Josh's Click Kirby, or Kirby and the Digital Curse, or Kirby and the modern internet? Kirby and the modern internet. A mouse-focused point-and-click adventure. Kirby gets digitized and has to escape Dedede's computer, along with Clicky, a new companion. Drag and drop power-ups, explore the hard drive of Dedede from an isometric point of view, and take down Viruseer. This bold new sequel is developed by HAL Labs. John, I haven't written down the name of yours.
I don't think I gave it a name.
What's the name?
Working title. Here we go. Kirby and the Power Prism.
Okay.
Which is an element I have not mentioned.
Sure.
There are prisms at the end of every level that you've
Okay.
got to collect to refill the colour of the world.
That's actually
Sure.
really good. Well done. Yes, I haven't mentioned, I thought about maybe being developed by the Yoku's Island Express guys, but I was like, no, it's got to be HAL. We just run out of time. We're too chatty. Okay. Kirby and the Power Prism. Transported to a monochrome world, a mouthless Kirby needs to take down Dark Void. An excellently voiced Dark Void.
And what's their catchphrase?
Death comes for us all, Kirby. I think was that
Kirby.
With the help of Squeak, a colourful mouse, this traditional Kirby platformer strips Kirby of flight and copy abilities, but brings back the paintbrush style of play. Developed by HAL Labs, this combines in equal measure exploration and challenging gameplay that sees you return colour to the world. Or do you like George's Kirby Palette Curse, a HAL Labs developed sequel with elements of De Blob and Splatoon that sees Kirby take on Erasia and the Monochronies, the darkest of the Seer sisters. With the help of the returning Align, add colour and paint to the world and create your own to share online for people to colour in masterpieces and return colour to the world as well. It's a good theme. It's a good theme. It's a good idea. Or do you have a better idea yourself? Let us know in the comments below. While you're there, please do like and subscribe. It will help us to grow. If you're listening on a podcast, please rate, comment and follow. And tell your friends about the show if they are Nintendo fans. We'd appreciate it. We're all over on BlueSky. You can chat to us there. I'll put the links in the description. We have a Patreon too, where we do live records every month and post up bloopers, and also occasionally post our Wee Wee Boys podcast, where I'm struggling. I'm struggling to even get started on making a handheld Wii. It was a terrible decision of mine. Jon, thank you very much for coming on and chatting Kirby with us today.
Thank you. I'm impressed that we both came up with the same idea of refilling paint to the world. It's not like a natural thing of the series. It has nothing to do with painting, really. You know, I guess you do.
Yeah.
And play De Blob.
Yeah.
It's a good game. It's a good.
You've both got a hankering for De Blob and for Mario Paint.
Clearly. Josh, thank you for coming on. And you didn't make Kirby wood this time, but it's still a very good game.
I didn't make him wood, but I did make him clickable.
Kirby first, a point-and-click adventure. Very exciting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm always about those first-time experiences. You know?
Still, everything... I think it's gotten so late that it's gotten to the point where everything we say sounds filthy. So I'm going to wrap the podcast up there. Thank you very much for listening. But for now, that's game over. Goodbye.